Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am filming like a sort of short impromptu like book collection bookshelf tour. I truly don't have like a big bookshelf, but I do have like shelves around my room, so I just kind of wanted to go over them and talk about the books on them. This is where my books are in my room. I have like this one just kind of standard short bookshelf, and then I have some books in my TV stand. I have a book tree, and then I have this section of books where I have like literally a mess. So yeah, I definitely don't have enough storage for the books that I have. I used to have a big bookshelf like in my room when I was a child, wooden one. There was like 5 shelves or whatever. Moved it out of here last year just so I could kind of more white furniture, but I definitely don't have enough room. I just keep buying books, and I don't know, hopefully when the house is built I can get like a bunch of bookshelves and kind of start making my home library. But yeah, that is my excuse. So I could just start on this shelf. My boyfriend actually put that top part together. He helped me rearrange my entire room for the new year. My desk used to be on this wall, and my bed was on that wall. So we switched it around just to make it look new. Michelle Obama's memoir and Get Good with Money by Tiffany Alici. It's like a really good budget book. And then I have some jewelry storage right there. I haven't read any of these books yet. These are all books that I got from Barnes & Noble, and then my boyfriend just put them there to hold up the other books. It's actually funny that he put Survive the Night and The Maidens right there because they're like everybody's worst book of the year, but I thought they were pretty good. I don't really have much of like a rhyme or reason for my bookshelves. I kind of like to try to keep things looking colorful. So yes, they're not really, if I have more than one author, I do try to keep them together, but that is about it. Typically, this is the bookshelf where I'll put books that I just finished. Like I just finished these 2, so I just put them right there. I have some mass market paperbacks sitting right there. And then back here, I just have a lot of fiction, and then it does turn into like nonfiction, self-help, some teaching books, and some faith-based books. And I think that I did that on purpose. This actually looks a lot different from the last time that I saw it, when this used to be in a different place, because when I moved things around, I had to take all of the books out of here, and my boyfriend, he was like in charge of this part, and so he put them all back, and they're all kind of different. This bookshelf is definitely not well put together. Literally the only thing holding it together is the books. And this is just the books on the second shelf. These are also some newer books that I got. I think these are actually all new down here. And then I have some of my educator books that I just keep for reference down here. In my TV stand, that is where I have like, I'm not gonna say that these all came out in 2020 or 2019, but I do think the majority of them do, and I just started putting them here. This is when I started realizing that I didn't have a lot of space. This has been in my room, this TV stand, for years, and I just started cramming books in here, and yeah, I like how it turned out. It's pretty nice. I need to clean in the back of them. This is one of my favorite parts of my room and my book collection. This is my book tree. I got this for my 21st birthday. I just thought it was a really cool and neat way to store books. A lot of these are definitely releases from 2020. I was just really on BookTube and getting a lot of books, and I definitely have some duplicate authors. That's where I put my Hunger Games series. I have a lot of Stephen King down there. That is definitely mostly nonfiction. I think maybe one fiction. I just wanted to pull these books out so that way you guys could see them, but I have some hardcover down here and some more Stephen King and People We Meet on Vacation. I have to kind of mix it up because I have a lot of hardcover up at the top, and the book tree is not really stable. It kind of leans off of the wall. It's never fallen, thank God, but I kind of have to keep it heavier on the bottom because it is heavy on the top. This is like my reading chair and like where I do a lot of reading at. Here's like a full view of my corner and this section. Here's my little print that I have that says, "Please go away, I'm reading." I have this cart that it did come with wheels that I never put wheels on. It's always been used to store books. And then I have this little tiny kind of shelf that I also use to store books. And these are all books that have been like recently hauled. I have some books at my boyfriend's house that I bring back and forth. And these are books that have made an impact on me, books that I really enjoy, and that's my mood. I got it from Etsy. It changes colors. So this right here does have somewhat of an organization. I would say that this top shelf is mostly like psychology, self-help, that kind of thing. I have some education-based books, older literature, a lot of Toni Morrison. This bottom shelf, sorry for the flash, is kind of a mix. I took some books out of it, that's why it kind of looks like that. I need to put some back in there. I did have all three of the Brown sisters books. I do not know where I put the Chloe Brown one. I have it. I thought I was gonna read it, I think. I don't know, I'm not sure. Maybe I took it to my boyfriend's house. It could be in the car, but I'm looking for it so that way that can be a complete trio again. So I got this kind of cart in 2020. I think that I thought it was going to be like my TBR cart, and I mostly have been working my way through these books, but I kind of just like replace them as I go. Most of the time I just finish a book and I like try to leave it around so that way I can like quickly refer to it if I want to like wrap it up or like have some final thoughts on it. The first two shelves are mostly fiction. I think I see like 2 nonfiction, and then the bottom shelf, a lot of this is faith-based, and then just a couple of books that are fiction. So that's how that's organized. I think that I mentioned that these are just books that I recently hauled and I don't have a place to put them. I'm not sure yet. So yeah. I did want to talk about some of my favorite books, that way it could just be a little bit more in depth. This is one of my favorite books from my childhood, The Devil's Arithmetic by Jane Yolen. It is about a girl who goes back in time and finds herself being transported to a concentration camp with her Jewish family, and it kind of just details what she went through and what it means to her. And I just always think about it. This is really from my childhood. Like, I think I was probably in 3rd or 4th grade when I read this. This is a book that I really want to reread. I am trying to read a lot more books physically this year, or like kind of just seeing the text with my eyes. Last year I was listening to a lot of audiobooks, and I kind of don't think that I got the most out of those books, especially if I'm not in the car or if I am not doing a task. I can find myself kind of like zoning out, and I don't really feel like I got the full value of Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney. I really enjoy both of her books. Conversations with Friends is my absolute favorite though, so I really think I'm going to try and reread this one this year. Another book that really stands out is Set Boundaries, Find Peace, A Guide to Reclaiming Yourself by Nedra Glover Tawwab. This is a really good, like, I wouldn't say it's self-help, it's definitely more like psychology, but it kind of just allows you to set boundaries with anyone about anything, friends, families, co-worker, and I think that, you know, I don't know if I would say it's really specific. I think that some people might struggle more with setting boundaries than other people, but I think that anybody could read this. Another favorite is Adulting, How to Become a Grown-Up in 535 Easy-ish Steps by Kelly Williams Brown. This is just like a book that has been through a lot. I feel like it's just really good to refer to. I think that it has really good points. And Kelly Williams Brown's style of writing is really good. She only has like 2 books. This is older and it's the updated edition, but I remember holding on to this going into college, and You know, being an adult is not easy, and this is definitely very much face value advice. It's not very self-helpy at all. It's very kind of like get a job, telling you about your finances, boundaries, that kind of thing. So I really enjoyed this one. I just wanted to point out these 3 books that are pretty much the exact same color scheme: Trick Mirror, Burnout, and Kink. They're like all that, like black and pink and red. I really want to finish The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I started reading it at the beginning of 2021 and I didn't finish it, but I remember it being really, really interesting. So I think I'm going to try to pick this one up after the book that I'm reading right now. These are all like some favorite reads that I read in the last couple of years. I have Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson, 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think by Brianna Wiest. I just finished that. A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith, and A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. That is like one of my all-time favorites. I also have my old Leo candle that I've never burned that my sister got me. Over here, I would say that some of my favorites are The Coldest Winter Ever by Sista Solja. Definitely like just a classic urban fiction read. Some of my favorite books from my childhood are Holes by Louis Sekar. I loved this book growing up. And then my like longtime favorite, I've actually had this since I was little, is The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane by Kate DiCamillo. This is it. It is so old. This is, I don't even know how old this is. Probably at least 15 or 16 years old. Looking back at it, the words seem so big. I'm pretty sure that this is the first like chapter book I ever read. This book called The List by Siobhan Vivian. This is like really, really old, really torn up. It's like follows like 8 girls like in each grade. After this list comes out, that's like the prettiest and the ugliest girl in the school through freshmen through seniors in high school, and it's really good. I feel like it was like really well done. And Siobhan has some other really good books as well. I have Run the Game by Jason Myers. He has a couple of books. I actually think he has like 4 or 5, and I think I have all of them. This was my favorite book. I loved this book. I probably read it, I can see a dog-eared page. I probably have read it at least 3 or 4 times. I really want to read it again. I haven't read it in a couple of years. I want to see if it holds up to the standard that I have in my head. I haven't really heard much about Jason Myers now as an author. I know that some people really don't like his writing, but I feel like it was one of the first kind of like gritty, like general, I want to say realistic fiction, but as I think about it, I don't know if the stories were that real, but it was definitely memorable reads for me. Sister and Mr. Gumbo, these are both like half-price books that I got. They kind of just follow in detail the lives of Black women and men and their experiences with friendships, relationships, their childhood, work. Very, very good. Definitely old school, but just really interesting books that I read during the pandemic. And then I have these books down here. I've read Clap While You Land. That's definitely a favorite. Everything else I haven't read yet except Conversations with Friends. That's a favorite as well. And then of course back to my education books. I feel like I went through everything so fast. I think that I thought I was gonna have a couple more favorites. There are definitely some that are like coming to mind that I don't know where they are. They might be still on the old bookshelf. I think that I definitely could go to like each section and go a lot more in depth, and hopefully I can get a bookshelf that just has everything on it, so that way I can it could just be seen. But I do like having like books just everywhere. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.